Today, we're going to talk about wore-out Harley-Davidson Pan America chains. All right, so hey, this is Larry Yeager from Yeager Cycle, and the Pan America, as we all know, is chain drive. Which, if you're been a long-time Harley-Davidson owner, belt drive is what they've been for a bunch of years. So, the chain drive is something we kind of had to grow used to again. I'm an old dirt head, so I ride dirt bikes a lot and have for a long time. So chain drives has not been anything new to me, but for some it is. Okay, and sometimes you don't know when your chain's wore out, when it's not wore out. There is no standard. When you ask how many miles a chain good for, there is no standard to give. It all depends on the elements you ride in, how well you maintain it. There's so many things that can make a difference in a chain drive. The one I've got on my Pan, I changed it out at about 12,000 miles. It was starting to get wore, and so I got about 12,000 miles on mine. And that's about what I've seen. But on the motorcycle, unless you're just completely out of adjustment, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell if your chain is wore out. And I want to show you one trick that I've learned through the years that helps. So just thinking about this this is a Pan America rear sprocket and a chain, and this is a wore out chain here, okay? Compliments of Justin Edelman. This come off his motorcycle. So anyway, what you do to find out is you pull off the back of the sprocket. And if you can pull that chain off the back of that sprocket like that right there, that means that chain is wore out. You can actually see teeth in between the sprocket and the chain. So that chain is done. For instance, a good quality chain, I'll show you what it's going to do. Put it on the sprocket just like that, hold him up like that, and you pull on it and it does not pull off. So that means that this chain, that's the difference between a wore out chain and a brand new chain, okay? So what is actually wearing on a chain? So let me show you. I'm going to give you a little close-up on Justin Edelman's wore-out chain. So inside of each one of these links, each one of these pins is a bushing right inside there. So you can see pretty easily, I'm going to put the master link up in there, the pin, and you can see rock in between the pin and the bushing. So the bushings wear and the pins wear. Generally, it's the bushings that wear. And once you get one link that's got a little bit of movement like that right there, that's going to mean when you put, say, 130 links together, you're going to get a lot of movement. Like on this one, I'm going to get him to stand up here and show you. You go like that right there. See, you magnify that by 130 links, and now that chain is automatically getting longer. So when it gets longer from pin to pin, that's what wears your sprockets out, okay? So this chain is designed to lay right in the teeth just like that right there. But as the bushings wear and the pitch of the chain gets longer, then it's going to start wearing your sprockets out. Okay, this is my 12,000 mile front sprocket off my Pan America. And you can see how it is wore in comparison. Look at the teeth on the rear sprocket, look at the teeth on the front sprocket. You can really see to where the front sprocket is sloped more. You can see how it's wore on the front side more. So what that means is the pitch from the tip of the tooth to the tip of the tooth is getting wider and it's getting longer, and that is what a wore out chain will do to your sprockets. So you could actually use the theory of if you replace your chain more often and keep a fresh chain on it, you conceivably could never wear out sprockets, in my opinion. The wore out chain and the bushings and the longer pitch of the chain is what wears your sprockets out, in my opinion, is what does it. So what can you do to prevent that? So I hear a lot of people asking what kind of chain lube to use, and those kind of things. And I don't think there's a right or a wrong. I wouldn't use chainsaw bar oil. That's a wrong. I would use a motorcycle chain lubricant. Most of them are aerosol. What I would tell you is just get your favorite. You know, if there's a favorite brand you use of Bel-Ray or PJ1 or Motul or whatever it might be on lubricants, get their chain lube. It's probably a good one. But what you want to focus on when you lubricate that chain is to apply the chain lube between the plates. That's where it's important because you need that chain lube to penetrate down between the plates and get into the bushing and the pin, because that's where the lubrication needs to be. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to keep your chain from looking rusty and lubricate the outside of the chain, but the important part is to get that chain lube to penetrate down between the plates and inside of the chain to the bushings. So, best practice is to lubricate it when you're done riding. Put that thing up on a center stand, get your favorite chain lube aerosol can out, and lubricate that chain top and bottom in between the plates is what I do. And then let it set overnight. It allows that lubricant time to penetrate that chain and get down inside the bushings. So if you do those things, you're going to get optimum life out of your chain. And so, yeah, there you go. Hopefully that helps you.